Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on? I had everything on, but I hadn't hit the start streaming button. Yeah, as per bloody usual, welcome aboard. 5 minutes late. Sorry about that, folks. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks for giving me the 2 likes as well, even though nothing happened for the first 5 minutes. So I've just seen the screen come up, so hopefully everything is good. Greetings, JK. Greetings to all the usual crew. Greetings to all the replayers. What I was saying before was that January is an interesting kind of month. It's bloody hot for a start. And we've got daylight savings, hence my daylight savings stream. I'm back in the studio this week because, to be quite honest, I'm just not feeling it this week. I've been doing so much research on the main South Line, and this project just seems like it's getting a little bit further and further away, not closer at the moment. And yeah, it's just been a bit rough. I've had another incidence of the swollen hand syndrome again. So we'll keep it short tonight. Literally just to prove, folks, that I can do this at 8:15 p.m. every Wednesday night. Because I can, basically. G'day O'Malley Tours. G'day Re-L, welcome aboard, bro, and g'day Steve. So what I was going to do for this short stream, as I was researching around and doing other stuff, actually, I came across this Pitchy Ritchie railway speech. What was I doing? It was somewhere on the South Line that I decided to cross over to the Governor, because there's a lot of mention of the Governor of South Australia when you do your research of the railways and how they were built throughout South Australia. Everybody was endlessly thanking the Governor. And it turns out we have a Governor in 2025, Frances Adamson, and she was at the 50th anniversary of the Pitchy Ritchie Railways. So that's what I was pretty much going to do for that stream. I found this speech really, really interesting. And I'm going to just read that out. So this was delivered by the Governor of South Australia on the 27th of July last year at the Pitchy Ritchie Railway 50th anniversary. And it goes like this. I am pleased to join you for Railfest, celebrating 50 years of the Pitchy Ritchie Railway Preservation Society and marking the restoration of Car 470, which I look forward to writing in shortly. G'day Shane O'Ace. Rod, who sends his apologies... the Governor didn't say that. Rod's who sent his apologies, and I embrace the romance of rail, and we have done our fair share of travel this way over our lives. As a child, I loved taking the steam train to Belair with my grandmother during school holidays. In my younger years, I backpacked around Europe by train. As ambassador, I travelled the length and breadth of China. In 2022, Rod and I travelled on the Garn from Adelaide to Darwin, revelling in the opportunity to slow down and enjoy the incredible landscapes and get to know our fellow travellers. As adults, rail travel enables us to see the world through fresh eyes, revisiting some of the wonder of childhood. Oh, g'day, Come Hither with Heather. Welcome aboard. Great video in Moles the other week. Mate, loved that one. G'day, Luke's Fishing. Finally made it. Yep, back to the Governor. As adults, rail travel enables us to see the world through fresh eyes, revisiting some of the wonder of childhood. To quote children's author A. Milne, "Nowhere can I think so happily as in a train." In the 1800s, railways were a global phenomenon, and they played an integral role in South Australia's history. In the infancy of settlement, railways underpinned our economy. Train networks opened up the vast outback for settlers and connected miners, farmers and pastoralists to vital trade routes, including here in the Flinders Ranges. South Australia traces its locomotive history back to 1854. A horse-drawn tramway graced Australia's first iron rails, running between Goolwa and Port Elliot. I recently had the pleasure of attending the launch of the new Victor Harbour Stables complex, which houses the Clydesdales, which draw the tram across to Granite Island. I've lost my spot. I was reminded of the beauty of these animals and the rich history of horse-drawn trams in South Australia. And here's where it gets interesting too. By the mid-20th century, the railway was on decline across Australia, including in our state. In 1957, the Pitchy Ritchie Pass was closed to regular traffic, and the bridges and dry stone walls were to be dismantled. Globally, it was thought that the time of railways had passed. They were considered superseded by cars and aeroplanes. I am very pleased that your community recognised this inflection point, saw the heritage value and significance of the railway and acted to save it. In a letter to the Patrikios Preservation Society in 1972, Governor of the day, His Excellency Honourable Sir Mark Oliphant, said, I am both pleased and fascinated by your account of what is being done to preserve the Patrikios Railway. No other part of the pioneering railway system is so worthy of preservation as is the remaining section between Quorn and Port Augusta. Today, the Patrikios Railway Preservation Society carries approximately 10,000 passengers on its train between Port Augusta and Quorn each year. I thank the Society for its contribution to preserving the rich local rail history for the benefit of all South Australians, and for creating an outstanding tourism experience which won a silver award in last year's Tourism Industry Council of SA Awards. For the past 50 years, the Society, run entirely by volunteers, has done a stellar job of maintaining the lines, bridges, carriages and goods shed, one of only a few remaining in Australia. I thank these enthusiastic volunteers, including those who have recently restored Car 470, over a century old, for the many hours of work they dedicate to the railway. Having read a little of Car 470's history, I see it served in the southeast during Her late Majesty the Queen's 1954 visit to Mount Gambier. I also read the volunteers are, by name, credited with some very particular roles, 14,000 hours worth. I know some of the founding volunteers are here today, and I thank them especially for their contributions. I also thank the government bodies and other supporters who have given funding to the Society over the years. Congratulations to the Patrikios Railway Preservation Society on reaching half a century of operations. I wish you all the very best for the future as you continue to bring great joy to children and adults alike with a special piece of South Australian history. G'day Kingsley, he's getting around, he's over in Victoria. Well, there you go, that was the Governor's speech last July at the Patrikios Railway Preservation Society's 50th anniversary. And what I found really, really interesting about this was to talk about an inflection point back there in the 50s where, globally trains were thought to be superseded by cars and aeroplanes. And, even though we all love trains, I think for me that really brought out, what I think about the history of railways as well. There really was an inflection point. And as much as rails are romantic and we're practical and we just, let's face it, we love railways and old trains and stuff like that, but they just have been superseded by other modes of travel. So there was a recognition of that, but also a recognition at the same point that preserving at least some of it makes some sense for our culture, because we need to know what came before, and this gives us all that experience of what happened before. So we do need to keep and preserve as much of it as we can, and we say as much of it as we can because if we don't say as much of it as we can, we won't end up preserving much of it at all. So it was really, really good speech and a really good gubernatorial speech, I guess is the way you put it, and it really brought home another interesting stat on the 10,000 passengers each year. That's a lot of passengers, right? All run by volunteers, people who drive from Adelaide, so they'll drive 3 hours or whatever to go up there and volunteer a weekend and drive 3 hours back. That kind of stuff. Like, there's some really committed people. And all of the money that those 10,000 passengers earns goes into maintaining the railway. There's no paid staff in the railway. So amazing job all round. I think that speech really did sum up a lot of how I feel about the history of rail and railways and the romance of all of it as well. And so that's kind of it for this week's content. I literally did not have any content at all to bring to the table tonight except that which I read yesterday, but that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm kind of running out of stuff, I guess you could say, and running out of time to get to the stuff. It's been over 2 years now, and I am imploring everyone to send me videos. Please give me ideas of videos you might like me to share that we can talk about in future good chats. That's if you're happy for me to share your full videos and we can all react to it, that kind of thing. O'Malley, the Manbrae Creek campsite, so is that the one in the national park itself? I've not been inside to the national park itself, so I go past it all the time. And one of these days I would like to do the walk up Alligator Gorge is on the other side. But Manbrae Creek would be bloody awesome. Alligator Gorge is up near Wilmington on the other side of the national park there. Is definitely on my list, but I'll add the Manbrae Creek campsite to the list. Pretty sure there's a fishing reservoir nearby too. So that's pretty random. I should go back to the fishing days and do a bit of a fishing stream. Alright, cool. Next time I'm up that way, I will definitely drive in and have a look. Hopefully hopefully I can get something happening with this Alice Springs run later in the year. We'll see how we go with that one. Also, videos of any genre, or if you've got any suggestions on or you've got any suggestions, or you want to send any photos, or you want to do a little article or a piece about something, keep shooting them through. I may not always do them all, but I can certainly, maybe pull something together, or the kind of thing that I do and the kind of thing that I've probably got in my library. So if you want to, shoot some ideas on compilations or something like that, I don't know. Open to all sorts of ideas at the moment. Or if you just like hearing me narrate speeches, then send me through some speeches. I could go through and read a whole bunch of W.A. O'Callaghan's The Overland book. I did what the modern equivalent of photocopying is, where I went into the State Library and just took photos of every page of the book, and I'm still getting through that in order to research for this 3,500 word monster thing that's becoming a bit out of control. Alright, so I hate to do this early, folks, but it is time to do the That's All, folks. And hey, to be fair, we do this 52 weeks a year. It's a hard gig trying to keep up half an hour's worth of content every week for a year, doing it on my own. So it is what it is this week. Hopefully I'll come up with a bit more. Hopefully maybe I'll even take advantage of, and I can see it in the window behind us here, take advantage of what I've probably got. It's 8:33 now, so you probably got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of stream time where it's still sort of light enough, so that things don't pixelate and you can see me all right. Northern Territory and Queensland, that's right, they don't have daylight saving. It is an interesting thing. So maybe I'll do it next week just for something to do. I do have to go up to Belair and do some filming around there. So maybe I'll go up to Belair and have a look around there at 8:15 p.m. next Wednesday. So, thanks, Heather. Appreciate that. So thanks for coming on board to the stalwarts and to those who breeze in from time to time and to the replayers. I really appreciate you all coming on board, and I really appreciate coming on board for the long ones and the short ones. This is going to be one of those short ones. Thanks, JK, for coming on board. O'Malley Tours, thank you for coming on board. We need to go out and collaborate on something soon, man. Rebro, thank you for coming on board. Steve Klink, thank you again, sir. Shano Ace, you're ace, mate. Thanks for coming on board. Hello with Heather. Hello, and thank you for coming again, my dear. Luke's Fishing, Northern Territory, you're a legend. Kingsley Purvis, checking in from Ballarat. Thanks for checking in while you're out and about, mate. And who else have we had tonight? I don't know. That's about it tonight. The replayers, Max, Jack, you all know who you are. And the lurkers, thank you again. We'll see you again next Wednesday night at 8:15 p.m. because whatever happens, I'm going to keep doing it. So I'll see you then. Cheers.